Hey everybody, good morning. Wow. So I feel amazing. Yesterday I was very intense, yes. And I'm not going to apologize for being intense. I know I probably rubbed some people the wrong way yesterday, especially around the vegan, vegetarian lifestyle and belief system. And, I mean, what I say is unfiltered. Um, and it's truly what I believe at that time. And even after I go through that previous hysterics. I still believe everything that I said is true yesterday. Um, I don't know where some of these belief systems have come from, but I do know that people are suffering from a lot of their belief systems. And I've suffered from belief systems. Um, Many of you have suffered from other people's belief systems imposed upon you. And we have to look at why the human race has been devolving for some time. And, you know, a food lifestyle that is into heavy discrimination, I would say would be one of the number one things of why we've been devolving, why we have such a prevalence of cancer, disease, and chronic illness, and malnutrition, obesity, underweight, starvation, all the body image issues. And so it's like I have to, after feeling this feeling this crazy ass headache to where I felt like my head was going to explode a few times. Okay. And then when I ate that piece of meat and I realized that, you know what? Meat has been so demonized, and yet we have people with Alzheimer's and people with neurological issues, and they're afraid of red meat. Maybe they eat a little bit of chicken and fish, but they're mostly vegan and vegetarians. And yet we have a total de-evolution of our society because of the fact that there are these political belief systems that heavily discriminate against so many different foods. And it's not stopping. Oh, let me tell you, it's becoming worse and worse and worse. Now it's the point where you can only eat organic food that can't be grown anywhere but in an organic garden. And these people are wasting away. How are they going to fight these viruses? How are they going to fight these so aggressive viruses to where their body is utilizing every ounce of its energy to go and upgrade, and you don't give the body what it needs? How are you going to do that? But then what people are going to do is they're going to be on the Jilly juice. They're vegan and vegetarian, and they're going to use herbs to stop the pain, because that's going to be their only recourse. If they can't give their body the nutrition, the amino acids, the fatty acids, the prohormones, and minerals, if they can't get the mass amount of nutrition out of the plant world to give the body what it needs so it stops pulsating, so the headaches will stop, so they can actually earn their evolution, earn the pain free, because they actually regenerate at the micro level. They're going to turn to the herbs. They'll be the ones that will turn to the herbs, the cannabis, all of that, because they got to find relief somehow. If they do not get the actual proper nutrition at the micro level, they will turn to the painkillers. But they'll turn to the herbal painkillers, the ones that are touted by the holistic industry. They'll turn to their MLMers. They'll turn to all of the detoxes, because they think that's the only way they're going to be able to uphold their belief system and think that they've earned the pain free. No, earning pain free is when you actually feed your body so correctly and you don't discriminate against food. You understand indicators. Okay, and what are these indicators? Well, I mean, if you have a major allergy to something, obviously you stay away from certain things. But your body needs the animal fat, not just chicken and fish, but your body does need red meat. And I know that is so offensive to those that have this major vegan and vegetarian political belief system, but I'm sorry, you're malnourished. And yesterday, I knew how much I was in pain because I needed to feed my body correctly. And I still fed my body the fish, the red beef, the hamburger meat, even after the peak pain. And I still had to go to peppermint oil and water at the point of where it was like so bad. But but I still allowed 90% of the prostaglandin hormone to do what it needs to do. And I felt the pulsating waves of pain like it was insane. Like I was having mini strokes. But they weren't strokes per se, or maybe they were, but I would never sustain any of the stroke characteristics, like, the numbness, the incoherency, what else? The drooping of the face. Okay, I didn't suffer any of those characteristics. So my body was upgrading, and I was able to withstand the upgrade. And because I gave my body what it needed. It wasn't just the Jilly juice that was supporting it, but it was also the food supply. Man cannot live on just Jilly juice alone. You have to have the food supply. That's why there's no diet on the protocol. Now you have to figure out where your imbalances lay within. Are you more on the fatty acid, where you need to maybe like cut down on some of the sugar, but not eradicate it altogether and have more of the Jilly juice so you can melt off some of the excess fatty acids off your body? Or are you so underweight that you need to add the carbs and the pastas and the sugars to your diet with the Jilly juice, because you are so underweight? And that is the issue with the vegan and vegetarian community. They are so underweight, and they don't have enough of the electrolytes and the probiotics and the micro and macronutrition because they have malabsorption. So they're not only eating all these, rabbit food, but they're not even absorbing it at the maximum potential. They're not getting maximum benefit at all from the food supply, and they're wasting away. And I don't want them to waste away on the Jilly juice with their vegan and vegetarian belief system, because that salt and the micro and macronutrition and the electrolytes and the probiotics, which are very good for you, will give them maybe 50 or 75% of what they need. But they are depriving of themselves of the fats, the animal fats, the proteins, like the real, not the vegetable proteins, but the real animal proteins. And so they're never going to hit their mark. They're going to plateau because they have deprived themselves of certain foods. And I know I've offended some of my vegan vegetarian Jilly juicers, but I'm sorry. You can't be a Jilly juicer and discriminate against food. That's the evolution of Jilly juice is no discrimination. But it seems like it's oxymoronic that I'm discriminating against the vegan vegetarians who are discriminatory. I'm not discriminating. I'm just letting you know you are missing a vital nutrient, that your political belief system is going to hold you back from getting actual benefit from the J juice, actual legit benefit. And so I don't want anyone saying, oh, the Jilly juice didn't work. I'm a vegan and vegetarian and I'm not getting the maximum. I'm still aging and degrading and this and that, and I'm still having pain and I can't seem to shake it and there's nothing that I could do. And I'm like, hello, go eat a fucking hamburger. Go eat a steak. So I'm not going to have anybody tell me down the road that the Jilly juice didn't work and they're vegan and vegetarian and they've already deprived themselves of probably 75%, 25% of the actual food supply that they need. Okay? So what would happen if a vegetarian actually ate a piece of beef? I bet you they'd be far more healthier than they are today. I bet you the Jilly juice would be far more easier and they would heal faster if they actually ate a piece of meat. Like a piece of red, bloody meat. And I know it's offensive to some that don't believe in that, but I'm sorry. We have been meat-eating people for the longest time. And I do have an acid tongue, yes. I learned from the best. But I would rather wake up people in the way that Jilly juice does, because you're going to have to be strong enough to deal with this healing, with this upgrade. I'm telling you, this COVID virus is no joke. If you can't handle even a few of my acidic words on your belief system, you won't be able to handle this COVID and the Jilly juice, because you haven't even upgraded to the society before COVID-19. Now you have to upgrade to not only the society and the environment before COVID-19, now you have to upgrade to that society and environment as well as the COVID-19. That's double, triple more than you had to prior to this COVID pandemic. Some of you haven't even started the Jilly Juice, and you haven't even reversed your issues. And now you got to deal with this COVID-19 that's going to exacerbate and even upgrade you even more. And you're barely ready, but you're going to have to go through hell and high water to get to the other side so you can actually get and feel that there's benefit to what you're doing. And that's the hardest thing to get across people when they're doing the Jilly Juice is that what their experience is, what they feel during the Jilly Juice is the actual benefit. But they won't be able to appreciate it until they get to a point where they're pain-free and they earned it. Not because they took a drug, it's because they actually earned it at the micro level. And that is cell regeneration. Not hiding or covering up symptoms, but actually earning cell regeneration at the micro level to where it translates to the macro level. And they've prolonged their life. They're lengthening their telomeres. Okay, that's the whole point of the Jilly Juice. It's not a cure and it's not some fad. It's an intention, it's a destination, and it's a way of life, yes. Maybe some could call it a political belief system. Hey, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But I want to live, and I want to feed my body correctly, which is all the foods in the food supply that is FDA approved or fruit and vegetable. And mucus is an indicator for specific foods, but it's not something that you're going to hold against the Jilly Juice, because whenever you have mucus on the Jilly Juice, it's because it's bringing up all the antibodies in your body. It's bringing up everything that you've harbored for years and years and years, and it has to be expelled. Some of you have held on to mucus and shit and mucoid plaque for years and years and years, and it has solidified and calcified in your colon and intestines, and now you have to scrape it off with the Jilly Juice and your immune system. So, yeah, the real Jilly Juicers are not going to be discriminatory in their food. They're not going to be vegan and vegetarians. They're not. At some point, you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that everything, animals, plants, fruits and vegetables or whatever, is all part of the human diet. We're not, herbivores. And we're not just carnivores, we're omnivores. And the holistic allopathic world has politicized eating and diets to where it has destroyed humanity's future. And so now we're taking our humanity back, and we're stopped playing the discrimination game. And that translates into your everyday life and cultures, belief systems. Anytime you discriminate. Now, I don't discriminate against any vegans, no. They're welcome in my world, but they're not going to get maximum benefit if they keep playing those discrimination games. Everybody is welcome on the Jilly Juice. Anyone's belief system, anyone's whatever. But I'm going to tell you this, you're not going to get maximum benefit from the J Juice if you keep playing the discrimination game. You got lucky in our society because it's so diverse. You don't have to really expend too much energy unless you're very poor. And you have to go and do your own plumbing and build your own house and mow your own lawn. But if you have enough money, you can pay someone who will go eat meat for you. So you can be all like, oh, I can't eat meat. I got to be political. And they can mow your freaking grass. They can build your freaking house. They can go and throw lumber and throw wood for you because they have the strength to, because you know why? They ate a freaking hamburger. Okay? You can afford in our society to play those games. But I'm sorry, at some point, when you really want to build yourself up in body, mind, and spirit, you're going to have to figure out how to mitigate discrimination in all facets of your life, in body, mind, and spirit. And discrimination will bleed into everything else. It's not just your food supply. You'll discriminate against other things in other areas because everything is connected. So you discriminate in one food, you'll discriminate in culture, belief systems, you'll discriminate in all that stuff. And then you will not be, you won't be able to adapt to the society because of your discrimination. So yeah, the new world is going to be about understanding how there is balance. That's the new world, is balance. Balancing out body, mind, and spirit, balancing out all of the elements on the periodic tables, balancing out your microbiome, balancing out your biochemistry, balancing out your belief systems. I understand everything has a place. Doesn't mean that you have a place for everything, but everything does have a place. You know, when you get so hurt by somebody else's words to where you're like, oh my God, because you haven't healed yet. Believe me, I get people trolling me all the time, sending me nasty emails. I get them all the time. I just block and delete, like, whatever. Because I know that I have a protocol and I understand the food supply and I have no discrimination against anyone or anything. So I know I'm on the side of right in body, mind, and spirit. And I don't have to entertain those that play those discrimination games, whether against me or against animal fat or against anything out there in the food supply. So if those want to play a discrimination game, that's fine. That's their shortcomings. I don't have to take party to it. So I'm not hurt by anybody that has mean words against me. It shows how unevolved they are. Okay? So it is what it is. But I won't apologize for how I came off yesterday because it's true. Parents with body image issues and food issues will pass it along to their children. And then those children will have body image issues and food issues. It's up to the parent to really teach the child how to make sure that they respect and love their body and not discriminate, but understand that if they have imbalances, they have to figure out how to balance it out so they don't have to play that discrimination game. It's true. Okay? We have to break the chain of destruction in these families. And it starts off with the parent who finally gets rid of their body image issues and their food issues and teaches their kid how to balance out the world so they can be a very productive, balanced member of society. And that's right now very lacking in our society. So, I mean, that's where I'm coming from. So yesterday, yes, I realized that yesterday I definitely offended some people, but that's okay. You know what? I'm going to. That's my MO anyways. I offend so many people because of my belief system is so different than most people out there. And I'll tell you what, I'll get, the vegan vegetarian trolls coming by going like, I can't believe that you're is it proven that the vegan and vegetarians are so malnourished and how drinking this salt and I'm telling you, some of these, I feel bad for some of these kids with vegan and vegetarian mothers and fathers who actually don't put salt or sugar on the table. So their kids are really malnourished and sluggish and will have imbalances. And it's going to be very difficult for them in the future when they try to compete. You want to give your kids the best foundation, the best foot forward. So whatever. But I feel amazing. I'm telling you, that headache was a doozy. And so that's why I went off of my tirade yesterday, because I don't want anybody in my Jilly Juice world going through that and not feeding their body correctly. And if they need a freaking steak, they need to go eat a raw steak or a relatively rare steak and eat the hell out of it to feed their brain so they can handle this upgrade. Because that headache was no freaking joke. That's the problem in our societies. We have very malnourished people in our society because of their malabsorption and their imbalances. So Jilly Juice with the steak, Jilly Juice with all the food supply, Jilly Juice with everything is going to support you during this upgrade. So that's why I came off very, very caustic yesterday. Very. Because I know what you guys have been going through once you get hit by this virus in some way where your brain has to go and upgrade. And it's torturous if you don't support your brain correctly with the right foods. Have a good day. Bye.